My name is Eva Loomis, and I'm the Executive Director of the Upper Valley Habitat for Humanity in White River Junction, Vermont. So Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit, and it was started in 1976 by Millard and Linda Fuller, who believed in the idea that everybody deserves a home. And the program really became popular in 1984 when President Carter and Rosalind Carter began their first work project, which I think was in New York. And they have since worked on, I think, over 5,000 habitat projects and have really helped bring a lot of attention to it. So Habitat affiliates, each affiliate is allowed a lot of autonomy to become, their own, to work on their own projects with their own focus. But we all believe that everybody deserves a place to call home, and Habitats essentially use volunteer labor and donated and discounted products to build homes, and that keeps the cost of the homes lower, and then we sell those homes to the partner families that also work on their home. Normally it takes us about a year to build a home, and it really varies on, I guess it varies on so many factors, but we are not able to help in a crisis situation. So when people reach out to us, if they're about to lose their housing, or they're facing an eviction, or just their house is in terrible condition, we often can't help in those instances because our process takes quite a while. It takes a while to build a house, takes a while to approve a family, but it's about a year, and it takes about 4 months to approve a family from when they first apply. One of our guidelines is that in order to apply with us, the applicant has to be living in the Upper Valley for at least a year. I'm not sure how other affiliates do it, but we do have a list of eligibility requirements, and so that's one of them. People must also demonstrate the need for a Habitat home. They need to have qualifying income. So I think there's a big misconception that we give away homes, and we don't. People need to have income to support a mortgage. And typically what happens is those homeowners end up purchasing their home with a 0% interest affordable mortgage. And when we talk about affordable mortgage, we hear that term a lot, but affordable actually means that the family's mortgage is no more than 30% of their monthly income or less. So once they purchase the home is, it's theirs, and their ledgered bank very generously services our mortgages for us. So homeowners are responsible for paying their principal on their mortgage, and there's no interest. And then they also have their taxes and insurance escrowed as well.
So it's theirs to do what they want to do with it once it's theirs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well. Hi, my name is John Heath. I'm the project manager at Upper Valley Habitat, and this is our new project that we're just finishing up. A couple odds and ends on the inside that need to be completed, but we're about ready for the family to move in.
My name is William Harrington.
I'm Crystal Laundry.
I'm from Windsor, Vermont originally, but I've lived in Enfield with Crystal for almost 12 years.
Okay.
I'm
So
from Enfield, born and raised.
There's an application process which starts with a sort of an introduction and cover letter, and involves filling out some personal information, financial information, just explaining your situation, what your needs are, and how Habitat could help. And then Habitat goes through and reviews your application and all the other ones. And after we were selected to partner with Habitat, we're part of the agreement is to put in sort of 300 hours of what they call sweat equity into the house.
is this your first house you're going to own?
More or less. We have a mobile home that's on rented property.
Oh, good. So when do you expect to move in?
Right now they're talking March, maybe the first week of April, depending on construction timeline.
Okay, that sounds good. Great. Well, I wish you the best. Okay.
When we accepted applications for this home that we're building in Lebanon, we had actually had a family apply, and they were selected and approved, and we're working through the process. And then they had an opportunity to move out of New England. So when we accepted applications again for this home, we had 24 families apply, and that's the most number we've ever had. So that really goes to show what a housing crisis the Upper Valley is in. We always are looking for volunteers. We love our volunteers. Habitat homes truly do not happen without the support of the community, be it funding or volunteers to physically construct the house. So we have a lot of volunteers who have been with us for a very long time, decades, and they come out quite regularly. We have volunteers who might come out with a team build from the church or organization or nonprofit or corporation that they work for. So we have a team build program. We notify our volunteers when we have volunteer opportunities for them, especially on the build site. So we send out weekly emails letting people know what we're up to on the build site and what our needs are. We post on the listserv and Facebook, Instagram. We're always looking for volunteers. So some people have just known about us for decades, or when they move to the Upper Valley from a different community, they're just used to volunteering with a Habitat, so they'll reach out. So we have a lot of people who come out very regularly, and then some people who might just come out once or twice as they're able. We work pretty regularly with organizations that pay their employees or their associates to volunteer. So like Hypertherm sends a lot of volunteers out to us. There are other organizations in the area that will send their volunteers.
And Dartmouth.
Dartmouth, yeah. And there's a Habitat chapter on campus at Dartmouth College.
Oh, okay.
So they come out as well. Tech students come out. There's a lot of people who come out.
I don't know the present count, but we're over 200 volunteers have come through this house to get it to the point where it is now. And they've come from all walks of life, everywhere from college students to retired fellows, and quite a variety of folks.
Okay.
And we have a fair amount of Dartmouth students that come out here when they can, so it's they're always welcome.
Oh, good.
Next week we have a group from the Tuck School coming out, so they're always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we've had like the girls softball team, and so it's always great to have a bunch of folks out. All quite diversified group of people.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And what made you join the chapter for Habitat for Humanity?
Oh, I mean, I've heard a lot about Habitat from back at home, and it seemed like a good experience to do it up here. Just a way to give back to the Upper Valley community.
Do you get credit, college credit? Or?
Oh, no.
No, it's just to sort of put on your resume. No, yeah.
More than that.
You get it's
Very meaningful.
meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah.
I've been volunteering for Habitat for about 2 years now.
Oh, good. So, how long have you been working on this house?
Almost a year.
So,
Here right in the beginning when we put the stakes in the ground.
and how often do you volunteer?
I usually come at least once a week, if not 2 or 3 times.
Hey, my name is Charles Clark. I've been working with Habitat since 2000. I've worked on approximately 32 projects. I've put in temporary power. I've helped John on the roof doing some shingling. I've done some sheetrocking on the ceiling. Let's see, I've worked on the water treatment system. This house has hard water, so we put in a water softener. I worked on that. Sheetrocking, shingling, electrical, plumbing. I started last May. Actually, we started in February, I think, designing the house. And the house was first. It was cleared. I was here then to help John to set up the foundation. The guy I worked for, J.B. Martin, did the rough end plumbing, and I helped on the rough end plumbing.
Businesses do volunteer. They send out people to help. Some will send out donations of in-kind materials or donated labor. We get a lot of contractors who will help us in that way. And this is something that makes a huge difference for us and for our partner families, because these donations help us keep the cost of the home lower for the families who are purchasing them.
We started the excavation in the middle of May, and we put up the first walls in the middle of June. And right now, though, you can't really see it. This will be the kitchen. We have the refrigerator, stove, kitchen sink in there. And then the cabinetry we're going around here. Dining room table will be in this area. And then this is the living room area. And you can see the nice southern light
Nice
coming
view, yeah.
in and the view of the neighbors. We've just finished up most of the flooring, which has been installed, and we're working on the painting. One thing about this house, unique thing about this house, it's a high performance home. So we've gone through extra lengths to put a lot of insulation in the walls and the ceilings. All the windows are triple glazed, high performance. So what that entails is that, the initial cost is a little bit more, but that'll entail low cost on the future heating. So we've gone through quite an extreme to make everything very well insulated and to meet all the Efficiency Vermont standards for a high performance home.
And what's the heat in here?
So it'll be a heat pump that will heat it, and then we have an air exchanger and an HRV, which is a heat recovery system, which takes the stale air out of the house and brings in fresh air and exchanges the heat in the interim. So the technology is fairly standard these days, but it's not your standard, boiler. And also we're planning to also have solar panels installed. We were lucky enough to have some solar panels donated to us. And Dave Dow, who's a solar contractor and electrician, has volunteered to help install those. So the house should be net zero, using no energy at all. So we'll produce everything that we use in here. So that'll be a great benefit to the family because energy costs.
Well, we sort of covered everything. Is there anyone you'd like to mention, or anybody, or anything else that you'd like to let everybody who's going to watch us know?
Yeah, I think the one thing I would like to say is just that Habitat truly is a community supported endeavor, and we really couldn't do this work without all of our supporters and all of our volunteers. I think it's truly humbling how so many people are willing to just give their time and talent so selflessly.